So many people out there fail not because they don't have the ability. It's because they don't have the heart to go through adversity.
The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it.
You'll go through some failures.
When you're in that darkness, you want to sit there and wait for the light to come. But you can't wait. The only way out is to step forward, to face your fears, to become your own light. There's going to be a lot of times y'all about to fail. We are all a work in progress. But in that moment, I want you to remember the power of you. You will change the world.
Even when you're struggling, even when you're discouraged, and you feel like other people have given up on you, don't ever give up on yourself.
The indomitable will, if you have a belief, you can do something. The only way you grow that, like in the gym, you grow your muscles by actually exercising them. To grow the individual will to become something, you must get comfortable with fear and failure. They must be your best friends. They're the only one that moves that needle of life. Every hero you guys had was called an idiot, crazy, a loser. You must break society's status quo. Status quo is normality. It's alive but not living. It's death on a stick, guys. The belief of the individual overrides thousands of people with just intent. Safety, comfort zones are dead zones. You have to continue to push yourself because your true potential will never be matched, guys.
Nobody is gonna hit as hard as life, but it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. Now, if you know what you're worth, then go out and get what you're worth. But you gotta be willing to take the hits.
The future rewards those who press on. With patient and firm determination, I'm gonna press on. I don't have time to feel sorry for myself. I don't have time to complain. I'm gonna press on. Stop complaining. Stop crying. We are gonna press on. We've got work to do.
What's your why? What motivates you? What pushes you? What drives you? And if that thing is internal, if nobody has to call you, if nobody has to prod you, if nobody has to reward you, if nobody has to give you anything, if you are self-motivated and self-regulated, you can have it, you can be it, you can do it.
Take ownership. Take extreme ownership. Don't make excuses. Don't blame any other person or any other thing. Get control of your ego. Take ownership of everything in your world, the good and the bad. Take ownership of your mistakes. Take ownership of your shortfalls. Take ownership of your problems. And then take ownership of the solutions that will get those problems solved. Take ownership of your mission. Take ownership of your job, of your team, of your future, and take ownership of your life. And lead to victory.
It's possible you can live your dream. It's necessary that you have a plan of action, that you're resilient, that you stick to, and you work with the system, that you have the vision and never give up, that you become creative and relentless and keep on coming back again and again and again, and that it's you that you got to take personal responsibility to make it happen, and that it's hard. Easy is not an option. And when life knocks you down, jump back up and say, it's not over until I win.
Yes, yes. Good morning, everyone. It is not over until you win. Good morning, everyone. This is Dr. Sergio Rozzelle here in the nation's capital, Washington, D.C., along with the great Mr. Al Murray here in the DMV. And we are excited that you decided to join us today. Again, that you decided to join us today because it was a decision. And the fact that you decided to do it, you took ownership of your decision. No one paid you to do this. However, you will get paid as a result of doing this, but no one paid you to do this. You made a decision to take ownership. You decided to win. And so for that, we applaud you and we salute you for being here. Very excited about what we have going on in the world of Karat Bars International, Wealth Builders Worldwide, and also very excited that you're here. So we want to thank you for joining us this morning. We want to make sure that you get your entire team on this training, because if you want to have the kinds of success that all of the great leaders in this company and in our organization are having, then you're at the right place before time. So with that being said, I'm going to take the opportunity to introduce our host this morning. Of course, if you've been around for a while, you know who this gentleman is. And if you're new, you're going to have an opportunity to learn about who he is. And just want to ask that you, before I introduce him, I wish that you would go ahead and make sure that you get yourself in a place where you can give us your undivided attention to help you build your multi-million-dollar business that we're helping you to build. Make sure that you have pen, paper, your Gladiator Club form. You should have received that from one of the sites that we have up, including wealthbuildersworldwide.net, and we'll be ready to go. So it's going to be fast, but it's going to be complete. It's going to be concise and precise. And just wanted to let you guys know that I am here, but I will be on mute for most of the time because of some challenges that are going on. But at any rate, so ladies and gentlemen, again, I'm happy to introduce to you the gentleman that has joined this business in a little over a year. In a matter of a few months, he was able to apply these principles and this training that he's going to share with you today to build a massive organization worldwide, to break so many records in the company in just a few short months. You're talking 90 days maybe. Been able to get all the accolades and get all the awards that Karat Bars has to offer, some incentives. And I'm not going to tell his business, maybe he'll share with you today, but because of his belief, his commitment, and his determination, he has done something very major yesterday that is going to secure the legacy for himself and his family. So, but without further ado, let me introduce you to somebody who loves helping people. He's having a ton of success, making a nice size income. He's fun-loving, down-to-earth, and knows 110% of the facts. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I introduce to you Mr. Al Bustin' Loose Murray. The call is yours, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Certainly appreciate you, sir, and all that you bring to the table with an awesome introduction. Boy, I tell you, sometimes you guys float my head and make it just get larger and larger and larger, because I'll just be honest with you. All I do is just follow the leader. I follow the leader. I follow people like you, Dr. Rozzelle, and all of the numerous leaders that we have that are part of Wealth Builders Worldwide, Mr. Dalco, Mr. Best, Rodney Roach, Lewis Young, Minister Lewis Young, Minister Crypto Steve, listen to me, we're in front of Minister. That's just how comfortable I am with those two guys. And but ours obviously is Minister Stephen Coates. But we've got a phenomenal team here. I'm super excited about what's going on. And, yes, a lot of accolades, a lot of success. And really, I just attribute it to an awesome system. And we're going to talk about that system here today. So as Dr. Rozzelle opened up and shared with you, we are a part of Wealth Builders Worldwide, and we want you to make sure that you have a couple of forms with you at the moment, that you have pen and paper so that you can take copious notes, write down any questions that you have, because understand this is not your typical training class that you're going to sit back and just listen. We need interactive participation. We're here to help you build your business. We're here to help you be able to know that this is a valuable training for not only you, but all of the affiliates that you bring on as a part of this team. This is something that is to help you elevate your status in this company and elevate the status of those on your team. I just want to share with you folks, these are some notes that I took. Well, actually, my wife took. I took some, but she just took better notes. But this is some notes that I took back in 2001. Eric Boy, a training, and it's, it's multiple pages typed notes, folks. And I glean from these notes. Folks wonder sometimes, well, dang, how do you know so much? And because I take notes. I don't trust this important information to memory. So grab pen and paper. Make sure that you have 2 of these forms right here. These are Gladiators Club forms, okay? Because we're going to talk about this, and make the commitment right now and decide that you're going to participate in on this call, because we need you. Please don't have me asking for participation over and over and over again. Look, make the decision right now. You're just going to step up. You're going to step out on faith and be a part. I could orchestrate this call for you and have people ready to do 3 ways and stuff like that, but it just wouldn't be natural, and it wouldn't be when Dr. Rozzelle and I talked about this, it just wouldn't be, we didn't want it to seem scripted. We want you guys to come on here and participate, because if this was a live classroom setting, you would participate, because you would raise your hand and you would participate. So just because we're on camera and would have you through this platform, don't just sit back and not give this your undivided attention, because again, we're talking about what's systemic. And this is what leads you to the success, folks. It's an awesome thing. So what I want you to do right now, folks, is we are here for a 5, 5, and 5 fast track training. Is to show you, this is your first goal in the business. The way you accomplish this 5 and 5 bonus, folks, is, let's just say you're a silver. You're a silver in the company. All right. You've got 5 weeks to bring on 5 people at your level or higher to acquire a free upgrade. So if you're a silver, and let's just say in your first 2 weeks, you help 5 people, let's just say 3 get a silver package and 2 get a gold package, or what have you, any combination of packages, 5 packages higher than at your level or higher, and it moves you to the gold level. Okay. So now you're a gold and you still have 3 weeks left. So over the next 3 weeks, you help 5 more people get started at the gold level or higher, and you get that promotion to the VIP level. Okay, so again, folks, it's an incredible thing. And anytime that you upgrade and get a new profit package, that 5 weeks starts over. Okay, so we want you to understand that, folks. It's an incredible thing. And what we want you to also do is commit to the weekly meetings, commit to the weekly webinars, commit to the weekly trainings, commit to the weekly team calls. Because understand this, folks, the people that you talk to, they are evaluating you. They want to make sure that you are thorough, that you are that you're not a fly-by-night affiliate. You're not one of those affiliates that attends things here and there. Just think about it, folks. If you're, just think about, would you support a business that only was in business, had a storefront and was open half of the week? Today I'm going to work, I'm going to open my business, tomorrow I'm not. No. So when folks are evaluating whether they're going to get into a business with you, guess what? They're evaluating you, and they want to see your business practice. So it's important that you are seen as somebody that is working their business. So what we want you to do is we want you to go to Wealth Builders Worldwide, okay, after the training, sometime this week, well, as soon as possible, and register. Okay, you've got to register online for Wealth Builders Worldwide. We want you to view the map. We want you to view the entire site, and then note, as a participant of Wealth Builders Worldwide, each member, we commit to acquiring a minimum of 1 gram of cash gold per week, and also 5 to 10 transactions per month. Okay, you're in business, so you got to set a goal. 5 to 10 transactions means that either you or someone else is acquiring something in this business. You're sharing it. So even if it's just you just starting out and you're getting your gram of gold, guess what? You can get 2/10 a gram, 2/10 of a gram of gold, 4 times a month. And that would be 4 transactions, okay? But we'll make it 5 transactions, if you will. 2/10, 5 times during a month, that would be 5 transactions, right? Now, if you got a team, you guys are putting together, so you're accumulating transactions. This is important, because later it helps you grow a team that's going to help you get promoted. Okay, because again, we are here to build wealth. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to transition, and I just want to go to this website for you real quick, and I just want to show you what it looks like. This is Wealth Builders Worldwide. Okay, and you can see the way we get started. Get your business package. Okay, we're getting profit packages now. All right, get your KYC documents done. and then you're going to upload your KYC documents. That's simply a driver's license that shows a picture. Okay, that's your picture ID, and then either a bill, utility bill, phone bill, something like that that shows proof of address. Okay, we need to have them in color, and then you need to be able to see in the picture all four corners, not a PDF. One of the best ways to do this is through your phone, because when you do that through your phone, it prompts you to be able to take a picture of the document. Okay, so you take that color picture, all four corners showing, and you upload it. The KYC document for that proves your address, it shouldn't be something that's coming off of the internet. It needs to be mailed to you. Okay, now there's one caveat to that. If you are using something, the only way you can do is pull something down offline. As long as all three addresses match, you can use that online document. Okay, but it can be a PDF. You can, if all three addresses, the address on your driver's license, your proof of ID, your face picture proof, matches the address that's in the system that you're using when you get your affiliate, your sign up as an affiliate, and that matches the address that is your third form of identification, which is actually your proof of address. If all three of those addresses match, then they will take a document that is coming off the computer to verify your address. Now, there's another caveat here. Prior to, whenever you, depending upon when you got into business, you may remember when most of us got business packages. Okay, you can get a business package. You got one chance to get one before uploading your KYC documents. But if you're getting your package now through the profit packages that give you coin and include a status, remember, because you're now getting started and you're participating in the KCB coin initial offering, understand now you have to do your KYC documents before you get that profit package. So if you're getting a profit package, like most of the people are doing now, you will do step 2 before you do step 1. Okay, so I hope you understood that. If not, we can answer some questions and you can type in the chat and maybe somebody will clear that up for you. But if you get a profit package, you need to do your KYCs before you actually acquire that profit package. So when you come in as a blue dot, you will now go in, complete those KYCs, and then go buy your profit package. Okay, so again, this is the website. Okay, and this contains our system. Now, this is the map, massive action plan. This is the map. All right, so it shows you how, and this is the system. This is our system here, folks. So this shows you how to invite people. The first thing it talks about is making a list. So that's why we want you to pull down your Gladiators Club form. You can get it on this website as well, okay? So make sure you pull that down because we're going to start on the list in just a few moments. All right, then it talks about presentation, how to pique interest, okay? And how and what to use, that you use third-party information. And then you have some conversations down here. Some ways that you talk to folks over the phone and invite them to view your information, invite them to do a 3-way phone call, because everything you do in this business, you want to make sure that you're utilizing third party and that you are not physically saying very much in the process, okay? You want to be able to get somebody started by saying as little information as possible, all right? So all of it's right here. Spend some time on this, folks. Now, because this is written and it's here for you, what I'm going to do is I'm going to focus on some ulterior things, some things that help you build within this system. That's what this training is about. We've got other trainings that go on throughout the week that are done extremely well, that really focus on the back office and how to move things around and how to, read the charts and the things that are all alike in the back office. That's not what we're doing on this training right here. We're going to talk about the nuts and bolts of what it is that you need to do in order to have a level of success in this business. So here's the thing. I'm gonna put something up here, and you'll notice this is www.wealthsystems.com. This is my own domain name, my domain name, and this also forwards to my karatgold.sg website. Okay, so I like using this. This is what I pique interest with. When I share something with somebody, I'm sharing this right here, and the reason I do so is just for these reasons here. This is a short 8-minute video. Okay, it's
financial stability, the feeling of freedom, security, and happiness. In our constantly changing world, we are seeking for confidence in our future. Nowadays,
Okay, so I'm telling people to watch this video, okay? And it's about 8 minutes long, so it's designed that they're gonna have questions so I can move them to the next phase, which is a 3-way phone call. Not only that, but now they have this site, okay? And what you can do is they can also come right in here and register straight away, okay? And we're always telling folks to become an affiliate, not a customer, okay? Become an affiliate. It's free, okay? It doesn't cost anything to get that blue dot. Okay, with this blue dot, you can buy gold, you can get cryptocurrency or what have you, but you don't really have a business status in the company. Okay, so but it has advantages, and this is where we tell them to go. But what's awesome about this is it's already here, and it has your sponsoring details in it, your ID number. So all they have to do is create a username, which they will never ever be able to change, and create a password, which they can, and confirm that password, which they can change at any time, email and confirm the email, and then accept conditions and move on, and they're on their way to becoming an affiliate in the business. I love it. That's why I use this site. Also, within this one site, you can come back through here and you can look at the white paper for the coin, and it's just so much other stuff on here that talks about information about the coin. Okay, so it's like a website, and where you get this at is you can get it on your own Karat Bars website. You go to referral links, and it's the bottom referral link. You go to karatgold.sg, go to referral links, and it's the bottom referral link. That's what this is. This is what I use. Okay, now you might want to get with your sponsor because they may want you to use some other tool to pique interest with, and it's fine as long as it's third party, as long as it's not you doing this right here. Okay, because that doesn't duplicate. You may be a smooth talker, but that just does not duplicate, folks. So I just want to share that with you. And again, I just put my own domain name to this. This is the link that you will pull down out of your back office, okay? And you could just keep that locked into your cell phone or email or what have you. But if it's in your cell phone, you can shoot that to somebody in a quick text very easily. And this is what I use to pique folks' interest with. But again, follow the team. Okay, remember the structure is what we're saying is that you share the third-party tool, whether it's this website, whether it's the landing page, the realmoney.com that's on Wealth Builders Worldwide, or if it's any other video that your team chooses to use to pique interest. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to be systemic. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move on back to this presentation here, and again, we're just super excited that you decided to be here with us. And now you know about where to go to get information about building your business, learning the system, and what have you. So next, what we want you to do is just understand that mindset is everything in this company. We focus on mindset, and it just having a winning mindset. That opening video, it talked all about the mindset and how to build your business. So let's just share this real quick, folks, because we're going to start moving into the list, and it's important. So make sure that you have your Gladiators Club form. And if you don't have that yet, then make sure you've got pen and paper, because again, we're going to need you to participate. But understand the list, it's usually the first mistake that we make in our business, folks, is we decide that we don't need a list. We can work from our phone. Okay, we can do I got everybody in my phone. I got 20 Johns in here, and I don't know which John I just called or what have you. Put it on a list, first and last name, all right? This helps you prepare for your grand opening. Your grand opening is your private gold reception, folks, okay? Your sponsor's gonna talk to you a little bit more about that, but set the date when you're gonna have that private gold reception within your first 2 weeks of getting started in this business. Some people say within the first week, get that private gold reception done. The list helps you do that. Next, the list is your inventory. If you were opening up a car dealership, you would need some inventory. You need cars on the lot, all right? We're in the people business, folks, so you got to have something with a list of names on it, okay? That's your inventory. Next, it's designed for duplication. So you do it, and then your team understands the importance of it. Understand this, if you don't do your list, then your team, you're not going to emphasize it to your team. Okay, you're not going to emphasize it to your team if you don't take this seriously enough. and it's going to affect your business tremendously, either for the good or for the bad. Next, it's designed to continuously grow. Your list continuously grows through your prospecting. By you going out, you meet folks, you see folks, you know, you're at the gas station, you run across somebody, they look sharp, you know, and you just come up, you pay them a quick compliment. Wow, man, that's a nice car you're driving. I love that color. What color is that? Oh man, that's money. This is money green. Yeah, look, that's one of my favorite colors, money green. Well, look, man, this might be a stab in the dark, but I just want to ask you something, and if you would, just allow me to introduce myself. My name is Al Murray. I'm a local business owner in the local area, and me and my partners are looking to expand here. And listen, you may or may not be interested, but I got something I want to share with you, and it'll only take a few minutes of your time. Let me go ahead and get your cell phone number right now, and I want to forward you a quick video. It's about an 8-minute video. It'll show you exactly what we're doing and what I can do. When would be the best time for me to reach you? Tomorrow at 10 or tomorrow at 6? And you just wait to get that number, okay? So that you get that number, you put it in there in your contacts, and you got their contact information, and you shake their hand and say, okay, great. You know, I'll get back to you tomorrow at 6 o'clock or whichever time that they chose. You don't ask when is the best time to reach you. You give them an option, okay? 2 options. They make a choice of which one it is. But just that quickly, your list can grow. You do that 2 to 3 times a day, and your list is continually growing. Imagine if you got a team of 10 people and everybody's doing that twice a day. Look at how the numbers and how your list is growing. The list is often the reason that businesses underperform. And because there's no organization, we have no idea who we're talking to, we're not keeping track of it. It allows your sponsor to work with you, folks. So make sure that you're getting that list out to your sponsor. You got to make a copy of it, email it to them, make sure that they have it so that they have your list so that they can say, okay, we're going to person number 9. I'm contacting folks from number 9 to 20 today. I'm going to be following up with them. They all were supposed to look at the video by a certain period of time, and I'll be following up. Mr. Murray, are you available for 3-way phone calls? Or your sponsor, are you available for 3-way phone calls? Or your workout partner? Okay, we're going to actually be putting together an accountability call. So you want to have a workout partner, okay? We're lucky enough to have a leader, Miss Monica Logan, who's putting that program together. We'll probably be introducing it next week or so. But understand this, folks, it's important that you have a workout partner and that you hold yourself accountable. So put your list together. That's the first thing you need to hold yourself accountable to. It allows your sponsor to work with you, so get it to them, all right? So now we're going to move on to the next most important thing, and that is actually putting this list together, okay, folks? So it's important. I want you to make sure that you got pen and paper, and at the conclusion of this, we're going to need to hear from some folks. So right now, you should make the decision, listen, I'm going to participate. I'm going to share my numbers. I had X amount of folks on my list before, or I didn't have a list before. As a result of this exercise, I was able to put 10 names, 20 names, 30 names, 40 names, 50 names, 60 names on my list. Listen, if I had to bet on who was going to have the most success in this business, it would be the person that had the largest list. Okay, I got a list here of close to 200 people, okay? But this is my second list. My first list had more names on it than that, okay? So listen, folks, you probably got 200 names in your phone. Take them out of your phone, put them on your paper. We're going to go through this exercise right now. Please grab pen and paper and make the decision to join us and be a participant within this exercise, okay? So listen, this is the Gladiators Club form. This form allows you to start off with your list, okay? Names, telephone numbers, and the date, okay, that you are that you are contacting these folks, okay? Then next, you got 15 folks. These people are people that decided to look at the information, okay? So they followed up, you introduced them, you got their name, what they seen, what you've done with them, maybe a 3-way phone call or what have you, and the date that this transpired, okay? Then you're putting on here what they did. You know, these folks, 5 new affiliates, okay? Their name and the date that they signed up. So keep track of this information. We're just going to focus now on the names, okay? Your homework assignment is to put the numbers next to those names and then to email that list to your sponsor. So listen, folks, we're going to start growing the list right now, okay? And folks, I appreciate you all. Just know that this call is interactive. So what we do on this call is we allow you to be able to come on, mute yourself out, We want you to come on and make sure that you manage your background noise. Okay, we respect that you come in here, but just know that this is an interactive call, so I don't mute. We don't like make it so that you can't talk. All right. So we want to be able to keep it that way, but we need you to manage your background noise and make sure that you stay on mute. So thank you so much for that housekeeping rules. All right. But let's move on to the list, folks. The list is most important. All right. So I'm going to go through here and I'm going to attempt to mute everybody out one more time. Okay. So that we can eliminate that background noise. All right. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right. So there we have it. Okay, so folks, what we're going to do is we're going to focus on this list, all right? So you got that list in front of you right now. You got your Gladiators Club form or a blank form, sheet of paper, when we're going to start to write down names, all right? Now, understand, we just saw it on the map, 100 names of folks. Start with the top 20 people that you know, okay? Because believe me, the folks that you're putting on your list are probably on somebody else's list as well. And if you're working with, and believe me, there's sharp affiliates in this company that talk to Reds. You got to make sure that you're doing the same thing as well. Okay. So put the 20 sharpest people that you know. If it's just 5, put them down on the list. Okay. So start out. Who would you think, if out of everybody that you know, who would have the most success in this business? Who is the most successful business person that you know? Put their names on the list. Just write their names down. You're going to come back after this and put the numbers down behind it. Okay. So let's make sure that let's take this extremely serious, folks, and start putting down your best 20 people on that list. Who owns a business? Who's had success in the industry like this before? Your sharpest people you know, who would have the most success? If there was anybody that you could choose to make a decision, if you could make the decision for them, who would they be that you would want to put in your business because you know that they would have success in this company? Okay, we prejudge and we say, oh no, this person won't have success, or they won't want to do it. We don't want to prejudge anybody. What we want to do is get everybody the information and let them make an informed decision for themselves. What if somebody prejudged you and didn't share it with you? Okay, so don't prejudge, folks. Just put the names down. Okay, understand 70% of these people you might not be able to get in contact with, but the other 30%, they'll allow you to build a fortune, a army of successful affiliates, folks. But then here's the thing: the 70%, as you continue to follow up, you'll even start to reach those people. Okay, so fortune is in the follow-up, folks. But now make sure that you got your mother and your father on the list. Understand this, folks. Put your mother and your father's name, your mother-in-law, your father-in-law on the list. Okay, the worst thing you're going to want to happen is to be at a presentation or jump on a webinar like this and your mom and dad are on here on somebody else's team. Think about that, okay? So listen, my mother-in-law, my father, my brothers, my sister, all of my brothers, my children, I got aunts, uncles, cousins, fraternity brothers, folks I worship with, strangers that I've met through prospecting, all a part of this business, folks. That's why they call me Mr. Bustin' Loose, because I believe in paying yourself first. Keep what you got till you get what you need, all right? Pay yourself first, and I am dedicated towards helping people bust loose from this current system of debt, folks. Put your grandparents on the list if you're fortunate enough to still have them. Put your children on the list, your brothers and sisters, your aunts, your uncles. Okay, as I'm mentioning these things, you guys should have your head down. You should be writing right now. This is what you should be doing, writing. Okay, now nieces, nephews, cousins. Okay, your friends. Who are your neighbors? Okay, understand this. Folks say that you are the average of the 5 closest people that you hang around. So if you're interested and you're in this business, and then your 5 closest people, they should know that you're in the business. Now, this is the reason you have to contact them using third party, though, because these people that are closest to you, they might want to make more income too, but they may not necessarily believe in your business acumen. But they will believe that you've ran across somebody else that could introduce you to something that would be beneficial to the both of you. All right. So that's why we use third party. That's one of the reasons we use third party. Church members, who do you worship with? Who's in your Sunday school class? What organizations are you a part of? Fraternities, sororities, Mason, Mason. Are you a Mason? 5-star. Local lodges, Moose Lodges. Merchants. What merchants do you know? Schoolmates, old schoolmates, high school, college. What about current co-workers? You should be writing right now, folks. We've got, probably close to 20 people on this line. I don't even know. We got over 20 people on the line. All right. And so I'm going to need you guys to participate. And I need you guys to be taking this serious. You should be writing your list down right now. Okay. And we want to be mindful of our background noise and make sure that we're muted out. Okay. Now understand this, folks. You got who's from your hometown. Okay. Think about where you used to live at. Who do you know from your old hometown that will be that who do you know? You're just writing the names down, folks. You should be writing more and more names down. Now I'm going to go back and I'm going to mute out again, mute everybody out, because we got somebody on here that, again, we can hear the background noise. So let's be mindful, folks. I say that over and over again because we'll build a culture of understanding that we need to be mindful of our call. And I hate to have to do this like we do a webinar where nobody can see, nobody can say or conversate. We want everybody, this is interactive, okay? So again, folks, who do you know? What doctors do you know? Put your doctors on there, folks, okay? They want to make great investments. You believe in this cryptocurrency, so will they. Your lawyer, barber, merchant, who's your grocer, your gas station attendant, dry cleaner, postal worker, who's your beautician, your barber. My barber has a silver package. Okay, this was before we had profit packs. He bought a 3K pack when it didn't even have a status with it. So he came back and invested in a silver pack to become a silver affiliate. But you guys, we can offer now a profit package that has coins and a business status. My gracious. What about your Christmas card list, folks? How many people do you send Christmas cards to? I know that might be a thing of old, but it's still folks that do it. We still do it here in my household. We exchange Christmas cards at church. Okay, your address book. Who would you invite to your wedding, your son's graduation? We should be writing names down right now. Think about directories, church directories, okay? Work directories. Who's your insurance salesperson? Who helps you with making decisions about stocks and investments? Who sold you your car? Who do you know that's in business already? Who do you know that bought a business like this to you sometime in the past? We should be writing names down. Who do you know that's a tax preparer? Somebody that's in HR, human resources, right? Who do you know that's an architect? Who do you know that's in the Army, in the Navy, Marines, Coast Guard, Air Force? Who do you know that's retired from any one of those services? Who do you know that's recently retired? Who do you know that's working a job? Who do you know that's working in the childcare industry, that drives a bus? When you think about books, who do you think about? Do you know any authors? How about people that run shows, radio shows, internet shows, blogs? Who do you know that's involved in martial arts, judo? Who sells jewelry? Who does your taxes? When you think about cell phones, who do you think about? Who sold you your cell phone? Where did you buy it from? What babysitters do you know? Who do you know that coaches youth sports, high school sports, college sports, professional sports? Coaches do well in this industry. Who do you know in the film industry? Who do you know that's a handyman? What about the health club? Who works out with you at the gym? Who do you know that's in management? Who you know in real estate? Who sells homes? Who flips houses? Real estate investors. We've got a ton of those in this industry, in our company. Who do you know in pest control? Who do you know that likes pizza? Who do you know in property management? When you think about sporting goods, who do you think about? Who do you know that repairs shoes? Cobbler. Who do you know that likes to rollerblade? Very active. Who sells mortgages? Mutual funds. Real estate agents. Who do you know at your local tanning salon? I look like I've been tanning, don't I? Who do you know that works at a college or a university? Now, folks, let's think about this. I just expanded my business recently into Australia. A gentleman that I know that's a heavy business owner, has a large center of influence, and 80% of your business should be outside of your local locality. 80% of it. So 20% right around where you live at. But then you start finding out who they know. And you start expanding the list and the people that you're contacting. Okay, who do you know in North Carolina? Who do you know in New York? Today they're having a Super Saturday in New York. Who do you know in New York? When you're in these businesses and you see people are having events in different areas, who do you know in those areas? When you contact your team members, who do you know in Tennessee? Who do you know in Atlanta? Who do you know in the states that border you? Virginia, DC, Delaware, New Jersey. Think about what states would you like to have a business in? Texas, California, Florida. What about territories outside of the United States? Canada, Mexico, Australia, other continents, Africa. Folks, we have an international business that's operating in over 130 different countries around the world. Why should you be limited? Why should you limit yourself to just those people right around you? Who do you know in Alberta, Canada, British Columbia, New Brunswick, Ontario? Who do you know in Quebec? Our list should be growing, folks. You should be writing down names. You should be writing down names right now, folks. Who do you know in the state of Washington, Virginia, Tennessee? Who do you know in South Carolina, Atlanta? Who do you know in Pennsylvania, Ohio? Who do you know in New Mexico, North Carolina? Your list should be growing, folks. Think outside of the box. Who is it that you're scared to put on your list? Who is it that you're thinking, man, no, they're too successful. They wouldn't ever think they'd get involved with this. What if Tony Dublin thought that when he walked into an office and talked to 3 businessmen? Stephen Coates, Lewis Young, and myself. You know, I hate to say that I drive a Lincoln when I'm around these guys because Mr. Young drives a Porsche. Mr. Coates drives a Maserati. Well, Tony Dublin, he drives a Mercedes. So I guess he wasn't intimidated if you want to just talk about cars. But he walked into an office of successful businessmen and shared this with them. Folks, you wouldn't be on this call right now if that one invitation wasn't made. He didn't try to do everything by himself. He put Mr. Roach on the phone with us. He brought him to the office. We got on the phone with Mr. Dalco, Mr. Roach. I mean, just so many other people. He used third party to the T. I'm just trying to tell you how people operate. You know, when you're Minister Young and you recruit a Steve Coates, an Al Murray, a Dominic Curry, all Reds, all people that somebody would say, nah, they wouldn't be interested. And they're all in his business. All have hit the top of this company, gold director. Why? Because Mr. Young knew better. He said, I better talk to these top people because somebody else will. So I better get to them first. He understands first movers advantage. Understand that, folks. Who do you know? Your list should be growing. You should be writing names down. We're going to spend about 2 more minutes on this, folks, and then we're going to move forward because we're going to talk about how to contact folks on this list. We're going to talk about how to do 3-way phone calls, and we're going to need your participation, folks. We're going to need somebody to step up. We want to know. I want to know, how many people you had on your list, if you had a list before. Have you learned anything from this exercise? I'm gonna need you to unmute and just share with us when we do so. You should be writing names down right now. Again, the homework assignment is to go back and put the numbers down next to those names. And as you start introducing and piquing people's interest by driving these people to your landing page, to something third party, a video presentation, folks, then you're writing down the date next to the telephone number on these sheets that describe when you contacted the person. Okay, so yes, and then we're making sure that our sponsor gets the list. So we want to open up now. You're gonna have to unmute your line, okay? And I want to hear from somebody on the line. Could be a new affiliate, could be a seasoned affiliate. If you've added names to your list as a result of this exercise, I want to hear about it. Okay, so I need somebody to unmute. We want to hear from maybe about 3 folks. Okay, if you unmute your line and just tell us a little bit about your list. How many you had on your list before? How many you were able to add as a result of this exercise? Maybe if you were one that was prejudging people, how many people were you able to add to your list now because you're adding everybody to your list? Not everybody unmute at one time. Again, yes, sir.
I did something a little different this morning because I'm really working with my team. I wrote down every category that you mentioned because we're gonna do the work this week and put this list building together. So I wrote down even when you was talking, you gave me ideas about how to build my list. So that's gonna help my team. So thank you, Mr. Mayor.
You're welcome, sir. We appreciate you stepping up as a leader and being confident enough to share on the line. And for those of you that don't know, this is Mr. Earl Dixon. He just hit the global director position. Global director means that you are silver or higher, and you've recruited at least 20 people into this business. Now, that's a minimum, and he did that a long time ago, and just hit that position, just went in and posted the information on Wealth Builders Worldwide. So you can see it, folks. It's on the list on Wealth Builders Worldwide under recognition. You can see those. My name is on that list. You've got many folks that are affiliates on this call right now that are on that list. Okay, so we appreciate you, sir, and seeing the value of what it is to take the list building exercise back to your team, because it's the way you expand your business. It's so duplicatable. All right, so who else do we have that wants to share right now? Tell us a little bit about their list.
Mr. Murray?
Yes, ma'am.
This is Linda Hodge.
Hey, Ms. Hodge, how you doing? Good morning.
Doing good. I had 200 on my list before this morning, and I added 10 more today.
Good stuff. So what jogged your memory to allow you to add 10 more people to your list? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Part of the number or new people that I met and peaked this past week. So those are the new additions. And some are just going through my Facebook friends, and some that I didn't have on the list before.
Incredible. I tell you, Facebook is just so awesome because now we can contact folks through Messenger. You got their number, you can text them, you can actually call them, you can video conference with them. So, that's one of the things that I'm doing now is I'm making sure that I am adding new Facebook friends that are not a part of Karat. So good stuff. We really, really appreciate you stepping up and sharing on the call with us as well. I know we're going to need some folks that's going to help us do the 3-way phone call here in a moment, and maybe you'll step up and be a part of that as well. Thank you so much. Anyone else want to share any more information about the list building exercise?
Mr. Murray?
Yes, ma'am.
It's Andrea Hagler.
How you doing? Welcome.
Good. I had about 75 on my list, right?
Yes, ma'am.
But I just put another 50 to 75 people when you jogged my memory when you said, who lives in Pennsylvania? Who lives in this? I used to live in Pennsylvania. I used to live in Dayton, Ohio. I used to live in certain places. I'm like, boy, I ain't think about I could call them and sign them up with this as well. If you made me think about people that I don't think about because I don't live in Dayton, Ohio anymore. So I never thought about, I think about to call my aunt and say, hey, how you doing? But never thought about to call her and say, hey, that you want to invest in gold.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. I appreciate you stepping up and just sharing that with us, because that's really what this exercise is all about. Do you think this would be an exercise that would be good for any new affiliates that you brought to the table?
Yes, you know, I am a new affiliate. So, yes, I think this would be a very good exercise for any new affiliate that came to the table, because, like I said, it jogged my memory, and it got my brain and my juices to flowing. So I really believe this will be a good exercise for any affiliate that comes to the table.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. We'll be here next week. All right. So I know you got a sizable list like that, and you're contacting those folks, piquing their interest, doing the three-way phone calls, that you're going to have success building your business. And I guarantee you this, make sure that you go back and put those telephone numbers down next to it, and make sure that your sponsor gets a copy of that list. Okay. And as sponsors, what we do is we hold our team accountable. You know, hey, when are we going to start contacting the folks on this list? All right. So again, this list is going to help when you get it to your sponsor with the numbers on it, with the dates on it, and things that are like, okay, now when you first put that list together, it may not be any dates on there, but it should certainly be telephone numbers on that list. Okay. So we appreciate you for sharing as well. And what we're going to do is we're going to move forward into the training. I appreciate all of you guys. I got just about 10 minutes to 10. And what we want to do now is we're going to move into a few things. Now, what do we do with our list? Okay. What do we do with our list? Let me just go back. Somehow I skipped the slide. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to identify our prospects. Generally, we identify them as red, greens, and blues, because it helps us with the approach that we going to make with them. Okay, so a red, a green, and a blue. A red is somebody that looks up to you, and so you're going to use it like an indirect approach with them. Hey, I'd like to get your opinion. I got something I want to show you. You may or may not be interested. It'll only take about 10 minutes of your time, but I respect you as a businessman, and I'd like to get your opinion. When do you think you have about, if I shot you a video, that a 10-minute video, do you think you could take a look at it by 12 o'clock noon today? I love to get your opinion on it. Great, great, great. I appreciate that. I'll get back to you so you can watch it by 12. Listen, I'll call you back by 12:30. Boom, there it is. All right. So select your approach, direct or indirect approach. For your peers, greens, you can use either a direct or indirect approach. But those folks that are blues, people that may look up to you, it's just like, hey, I need you to take a look at something, man. I came across some great information. I need you to take a look at it. Take a look at this information. You may or may not be interested in it. It'll only take about 10 minutes of your time. Okay. But when I shoot you this text with this 8-minute video in it, do you think you can watch it by 12? Do you think you can watch it by 12:30? Great. Okay. And then you follow back up with them when they are supposed to watch it. Actually, I'm going to show you another approach about that, but I'm going to give you some hints when you do that. Invite these people. When you make that call, you want to be smiling. You want to smile when you talk. You want to have an upbeat personality, but you want to be on the run. Hey, listen, I'm glad I caught you. I'm running out the door. Listen, I got something I want to share with you. You may or may not be interested. It'll only take about 10 minutes of your time. If I shot you a quick video, an 8-minute video, think you can watch it by 12:30 this evening? Great. So I'm going to give you a call back about 12:30, see what you like best about that video. Boom. Get off the phone. All right. Now, don't get caught up in answering a whole bunch of questions. That's why you're rushing out the door. Everything we do, we want to begin with the end in mind, folks. So again, that's why we're rushing. So we're not going to be answering a whole bunch of questions. All you did was say, hey, I want to show you something. You may or may not be interested. It only take a few minutes of your time. Okay. All of this is philosophy behind this, folks. I got something I want to show you. Okay, I'm not going to talk to you. Okay, you may or may not be interested, so drop your guards. Okay, it's okay if you're not interested. Okay, you may or may not be interested, so now they don't have to be. Well, what does this person want to sign me up for? Okay, what are they forcing me to get into? You may or may not be interested, and it won't take much of your time. So I'm not going to be belaboring you. I'm not going to be trying to force you into something. Okay, remember, there's philosophy behind all of this. Okay, so next, get the commitment. When are we going to meet? If I shoot you this video, this 10-minute video, will you be able to watch it by a certain time frame? Get that commitment. Be specific with it, and then get off the phone. Okay? All right, confirm when you're going to call them back and get back to them when you say you're going to do it. So listen, here's a couple of examples of how to contact and invite, how to pique that interest, folks. So in a direct approach, hey, John, I'm glad I caught you. I'm running out the door real quick. I got something I want to share with you. You may or may not be interested, and it'll only take about 10 minutes of your time. If I text you a 10-minute video, do you think you could watch it by noon today? Great. I'll text you the link and get back to you by 12:30 today. Talk to you later, good brother. And then let's just say around 12 o'clock, 12:10, you follow back up with them. Say 12 o'clock. Okay. Hey, you text them. Hey, I got caught up in a meeting. I'll call you back at 12:30. Okay. So remember that you were supposed to talk to them at 12:30 anyway, but just in case they haven't looked at the information yet, you're hitting them back, at 12 o'clock. They got 30 minutes left to watch that 10-minute video. Oh man, I forgot about it. Let me watch this real quick. All right. So again, we're beginning with the end in mind. We're overcoming objections before they arise. So we don't want to call them back at 12 and, oh, you know what? I forgot, man. I forgot about it. Yeah, I'll have some time maybe to look at it tomorrow now, because you just missed your opportunity. So again, all of this is beginning with the end in mind and is designed to overcome objections before they arise. Okay. Indirect. Hey, John, I'm glad I caught you. I'm running out the door real quick, sir. I respect you a lot as a business person. Another business owner, Mr. Murray, recently introduced me to a great business idea. You may or may not be interested, but I'd like to get your opinion about this information. It'll only take a few minutes, only about 10 minutes of your time. I know you are busy, but do you think you could watch this 10-minute video by noon today? Great. I'll text you the link, and I'll call you back at 12:30 to get your thoughts. Again, I'll call you back at, thanks. Thanks again. I'll call you back by 12:30 to get your thoughts. Boom. 12 o'clock, 12:10. Hey, I got caught up in a meeting, but I'll call you back by 12:30. Indirect. I got something indirect. I need you to take a look at this right now. Direct. I need you to take a look at it right now. Indirect. I like to get your opinion. I respect you. I like to get your opinion. Right? Okay. So it's real simple there. Now, I'm not going to go into this real quick, but a couple of things I want us to focus on, folks. Now you're calling your person back. You call them back, it's 12, you've texted them at 12 o'clock, it's 12:30, now you're calling them back. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, hey, John, glad I caught you, man. I'm not going to ask you that you watched the video. I'm going to ask you what you like best about what you heard or saw on the video. I'm not going to ask you what you think. Oh man, I don't even think this is legal. I don't even, you want to start off with something positive. That's why we asked them, what did you like best? Oh, I like the money. Oh, I like the fact that we're saving in gold. That video was intriguing, but I got some questions. Great. I got a gentleman I want to put you on the phone with. This gentleman knows all of the facts. He loves to help people. He's having a lot of fun, and he's building a business all across the nation. He's leading the national expansion of this company all across the world. All right. But listen, he's extremely busy. Hold while I see if I can get 1 minute of his time. Okay. Now that sounds like a whole lot, but understand this. It was 5 components to it. First is I'm want to appeal to all of the personality types. So the fall personality types, these are people that want to know all the facts. Listen, he knows all of the facts. Those spring personalities that like to help people, like pastors and doctors and things like that. Okay, listen, he likes to help people. Okay, those folks that like to have fun, guess what, man? He likes to have a lot of fun. He's down to earth. He likes to have a lot of fun. Those people that are sharks and money hungry, that like the money, that are winters, guess what? Boom, man, he's leading an international expansion of our company. But now your person, what's the first thing they're gonna say? Oh no, I don't want to tell them, I don't want to talk to anybody. Tell me about it. Tell me about it. Now, this is where something pivotal happens. See, if you're an amateur in the company, this is when you'll say, when your person says, tell me more about it, or you answer my questions. This is when you make the pivotal mistake of becoming an expert at this point in time. Okay, and you start talking, and now you're limited. And when you can't answer something, or you tell them something that's not right, and they find out later, guess what? They're not interested because you don't know what you're talking about. So just be upfront. Hey, listen, man, I'm just getting started. I don't want to mess this up for you. My guy is he's super busy, but listen, he always takes some time to help me with my business. Hold on for a second while I see if I can get 1 minute of his time. Click, I'm switching over. I just gave them a command. I asked them, I gave them direction. I said, hold on for a second while I see if I can reach them. I didn't wait for you to say, oh no, I don't want to talk to anybody. And I'm clicking over. Remember, this is business. So we do what works, not what feels the best. We do what works. If they hang up, they hung up. It's on to the next person on the list. I got over 100 people. So you hang up, it's on to the next person. I'm not personal. I don't take it personal of what happens. What I do is I take my business serious enough to put it on paper and to follow up with it. Okay, so that's how we do the business, folks. That's how you peak and you peak and you pass. You pass it on to the next to the expert. Okay, now what I want to talk about now is a three-way phone call. Okay, now this is impeccable, folks. It is important that you really learn how this is done. You want to call your expert first. Hey, Mr. Murray, this is John. Hey, listen, I will be. Oh no, this is me. Hey, Dr. Rozzelle, this is Al Murray. Hey, listen, I'm about to follow up on some folks between the hours of 12:30 and about 1:30. I just wanted to see if you'd be available for me. Absolutely. So now that that's done, when Dr. Rozzelle sees my number coming across, he knows I'm not calling to ask him, what's good, what's going on, how's your day been? It's for business. Okay. So if he's on another call and it's not pertaining to business, guess what? My call takes priority. All right. So again, follow the instructions of your expert and then get off the phone. So when your expert says, hey, well, make sure you get them the link to the webinar, then you get them the link to the webinar and you get off the phone, because that's what happens. That's where we do it. Again, the person has talked to the expert and now they're on fire and they're thinking about it. Man, tell me, man, tell me what this is all about. Yeah, I heard from your man. He done got me. Yeah, I'm interested. Tell me what it's all about. Well, look, I don't even want to mess it up for you, man. You're going to get all of that information on the webinar this evening. You're going to get all of that at the briefing on Monday. So look, man, I look forward to seeing you there. I'll text you the information. And look, I got to run. Man, I'm excited for you. See you Monday. Boom. You're off the phone because the appointment is already set. The objective of the three-way phone call is already done. So when you call your expert, you also want to let your expert know, listen, when you call them back for the three-way, so you call them back. You've called your person. He has watched the video. He likes the money. So now you're calling your expert back. You put that person on hold and you're calling your expert back. Hey, Dr. Rozzelle, this is Al. Hey, listen, I was able to get John on the line. He watched the 8-minute video on the SG site, and he says he likes the fact that we're saving in gold, and he's intrigued by the idea of making money. What I like to do is move him to the Monday night briefing at 7:30. What I like to do is move them to the three-way phone call. Hey, listen, this gentleman just watched one of your videos. He watched a full presentation, and if you would attempt a soft close on him, and if he's not interested in moving forward right now, can you invite him to the webinar on Tuesday? Can you invite him to the briefing? We're moving him to the next exposure. This is about a series of exposures, right? So now that's how we do that. So now let's talk about why we do it this way. Understand, this is you. You call your expert first. You do not interrupt the expert. Then you thank the expert after the appointment is set. But this is you. Your prospect is on a first name basis, but your prospect has trust for you. They've given you their number. They may be a family member or acquaintance. So they trust you. They trust you enough to answer your call and things that are like, regardless of whether this is somebody you just prospected, they have demonstrated a level of trust for you. So what you do is you edify your expert. Okay, he knows all of the facts, loves to help people, likes having fun, and he knows how to build a financially profitable company. He's leading the international expansion of this company. Okay, he's extremely busy. Hold on while I see if I get 1 minute of his time. Bam. And then you make the three-way phone call. But this edification is super important, folks, because it builds respect for your prospect of your expert. So your expert is always on a last name basis. This is Dr. Rozzelle. This is Mr. Murray. This is Mr. Coates. Okay, and your prospect is always on a first name basis. Listen, it works so great, man, when your prospect Mike says, "Hey, how you doing, Mr. Murray?" That's language you want your prospect saying. That's demonstrated that you've done this part right, and the whole system is working. Okay, so it's important that we do it that way. So let me just check our time, folks, because we're going to be finishing up. We got a half an hour. Okay, and it's great because what I want to do at this point in time is this is what we need to do. I'm going to close this out right now, and we're going to spend the remainder of our time talking about how to contact, invite, do the three-way phone call. And I'm going to need some participation here. Okay, folks? So again, what we're doing is you want to set the date. Set the date that you're going to jumpstart your business and launch your business, launch your grand opening. You want to set your PBR date. Okay, so write that date down on a sheet of paper. Write that date down on the top of your Gladiators form, because remember, you're getting that form to your sponsor. At the conclusion of this webinar, you want to contact them. You want to say, listen, I got my list together. I'm just putting the numbers next to the names. I understand how to do three-way phone calls. Listen, I like to do my PGR, my private goal reception on this particular date, okay? And that's your homework assignment. Let them know I know how to do three-way phone calls. So when can we start doing some three-way phone calls to build for my private goal reception, folks? Okay, now these are just some hints on how private goal reception should run, okay? You can schedule more than one. Don't change your room around. Only offer light refreshments like chips and sodas. Ask guests to bring ice. Have paper applications available, and set up more private goal receptions for your new affiliates from that one private goal reception. So what I want to do is I want to step back now, okay? And I want to ask for a couple of folks to join me here, if they would. If I could get two people to step up right now, we're going to talk about how to contact, invite. So I'm going to need a couple of folks to participate and unmute and participate with us here. Not everybody at one time.
Mr. Murray.
Yes, sir.
Good morning, sir. Mr. Dublin here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Willing to participate. Doing great, sir. Great training this morning, my ad. Great training.
Great. I appreciate you, sir. Awesome job, man. And for those of you who don't know, this is Mr. Tony Dublin. This is the gentleman that I edified earlier today, that walked into the office and shared this with a few of the sharp people that he knows. And had it not been for this gentleman here, we would not even be on this call here today. I don't know what you guys would be doing today, but you wouldn't be with me. All right. But I appreciate you, sir. Who else can we get to step up real quick? I promise I'm not going to be hard on you. Well, I'll tell you what. This is Mr. Dublin. We can do this real quick. We're going to do this real quick. All right. So, Mr. Dublin, unless I can get somebody else to step up, Mr. Dublin, you're going to be my prospect.
I'll step up.
Who do we have on the line? Mr. Dixon?
Mr. Dixon, yeah.
Okay, good stuff. Okay, so Mr. Dixon. Mr. Dixon, you're going to be my prospect. You're going to be my prospect, okay? And Earl, okay? So you're Earl, first name basis. You're my prospect. Now, I got Mr. Dublin.
Okay.
Is going to be my expert, okay? And I am the affiliate. So what I'm doing is I'm coming down my list, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to call Earl Dixon up. Ring, ring.
Hello, this is Earl Dixon.
Hey, how you doing, Earl? Listen, man, I'm so glad I caught you. I'm actually running out the door real quick. I just ran across a great business opportunity, something I'd like to share with you. You may or may not be interested, and only take a few minutes of your time. If I shot you a 10-minute video, Earl, do you think you could watch that video by about 12:30 this evening?
Yeah, I'm planning on going on lunch, and I can watch it during my lunch break.
You can watch it on your lunch break. What time's your lunch break start?
It normally starts about 12.
About 12 o'clock. Okay, great. Well, listen, I'll give you a call back at about 12:30 then, okay?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Murray.
Good. Okay, great. Now, boom. I go ahead and I text out Earl that information. He's got the information for the video. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to call my expert up, Mr. Dublin, okay? Ring, ring.
Hello.
Hey, Mr. Dublin, how you doing, man? I'm glad I caught up with you. This is Al Murray. Hey, listen, I'm going to be doing some follow-up calls at around 12:30 to about 1:30 today. And I got a few folks, I'm shooting them out videos right now. And if you could be available for 3 ways, are you available around that time?
Oh man, excellent. No doubt.
Okay, good stuff. Well, great, sir. I appreciate you spending some time helping me build my business. And what I'll do is the next time I call you back, I'll have somebody on hold for a 3-way, okay?
Will do, sir. We're glad to hear from you.
Good. Okay, now it's 12 o'clock. Okay, so it's 12 o'clock, and what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna text Earl. I'm texting Earl. Boom. Hey Earl, got caught up in a meeting real quick, but I'll be able to. I will call you back at 12:30. I'll call you back at 12:30. All right. So I did that at 12 o'clock. Now it's 12:30, and I'm about to call Earl Dixon back. Ring, ring.
Hello, this is Earl Dixon.
Hey, what's happening, Earl? How you doing today, brother?
I'm doing wonderful, just wonderful.
Good. Well, listen, man, I'm so excited, man. I'm just giving you a call back. Wanted to see what you like best about what you heard or saw in that video.
Well, the fact that people can actually buy gold in small increments really excited me. I got a lot of questions, though. A lot of questions.
Okay. Good stuff. Okay, well, listen, man, here's the thing. I don't answer questions. That's usually reserved for one of our experts. But listen, I already got a guy lined up for you. This gentleman I have a ton of respect for. He knows 110% of the facts. He loves to help people. He's very, very down to earth. And make no mistake about it, he's building a world-class international business. But here's the thing. He's extremely busy. So let me see. Hold on while I see if I can get 1 minute of his time. Click.
Okay, Ms. Mary, before you get them on though, Ms. Mary, I might need you to do one thing. I might need you to answer just one question for me about this gold though before you get them on.
Hello, Mr. Dublin. This is Mr. Dublin. This is Al Murray. Hey, listen, I got a gentleman by the name of Earl Dixon on the line, and he watched the 8-minute video. He likes the gold, the fact that we're saving in gold. And what I like to do, since he just watched the 8-minute video, he said he has a lot of questions. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and connect him. But what I like to do is invite him out to the Tuesday night webinar at 7:30 for me. Okay.
All right, sir. Sounds good.
Great. Boom. So now understand what just happened there. Okay. If you heard what when I was terminating, not when I was terminating, but when I was finishing up with Earl Dixon, with Earl. My statement was, hold on for a second while I see if I can get us while I see if I can get 1 minute of his time. What did Earl do? He did what most folks are going to do, and he started asking me, "Well, hold on." I didn't even hear any of that because I asked him to hold on, and I'm clicking over to make my 3-way phone call. Right. So now Earl has two choices. He can respond to what I actually said, which was to hold on and hold, or he could maybe think I hung up on him or something like that, or he could just say, "Oh, wow, what is this?" and hang up. And if he does that, then I'll just call him back a little later on, or I might even call him back and say, "Man, hold on, what happened? We got disconnected," and then again try to do the 3-way phone call. But again, Mr. Dublin is busy. I'm not going to have him on hold while I'm trying to reach people or anything like that. I'm going to reach my person, and then I'm going to connect them with Mr. Dublin. And while they're on hold, I'm going to now tell Mr. Dublin about my prospect. I don't tell him about my prospect before when I'm asking him to be available for 3-way phone calls. Because at that point, you don't even know who you're going to get. And you don't even know if you're going to be able to reach him. So Mr. Dublin is busy. You don't need to know all of that stuff until it's time to work. So I got Mr. Dublin. I thanked him for his time. And I told him exactly a little bit about Mr. Dixon, about Earl. And then I told him what my objective was. I want to move him to the webinar. Okay, so now in this case, I'm going to be the expert. Okay, I'm going to be the expert. So Mr. Dublin, I'm going to take over your role real quick. Okay, and I'm also going to be the prospect. All right. So I'm also okay. So Mrs. Dublin, you can just hold or what have you. But I want to really demonstrate how the expert is going to work here. Okay. But then again, Mr. Dublin, why don't you do this? Why don't you? Well, no, that's cool. I got it. This will be this out. So now I have my expert on the line. Okay, this is where we were when we ended at first. I have my expert on the line. I've told him I want to invite this person to the 3-way phone call, and I still have Earl on hold right now. Right, Earl is on hold, and he's decided to hold since I didn't answer the questions myself. I just put him on hold, and so now I'm clicking back in. Hey, Earl, you there, sir?
I'm still here. I'm here. Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Listen, man, we are in luck. I was able to get my expert, this gentleman I was telling you so much about, that I have so much respect for, Mr. Murray. Listen, Mr. Murray, this is Earl, the gentleman I was telling you about as well. So, Mr. Murray, Earl, Mr. Murray.
All right.
Great. So, how you doing, Earl?
I'm doing fine. How you doing, Mr. Murray?
Outstanding. Listen, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Al Murray. I'm a local business owner here in the Southern Maryland area, and I am extremely excited about this opportunity that has Mr. Dublin and myself aligned with this awesome company that's been in business since 2011. It's doing some phenomenal things in the gold space, in the cryptocurrency space. And I understand you had a chance to take a look at some information. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I watched that. I watched that video. I was really excited about that video.
Outstanding. Well, listen. What did you like best about what you heard or saw on it?
Well, I saw that as an opportunity to buy gold, and I'm an investor, so I keep getting these emails about gold, but I never had an opportunity to really dive into it. So I'm excited about learning more information, but I don't know who to trust right now, and if it's real gold. So I got a lot of questions.
Good stuff. Well, listen, I'm extremely excited to hear you say that. Saving in gold is something that many of us should do. And it's one of the main reasons why I'm in this business, because I understand and know the facts that less than 1% of the population owns physical gold. So I can see that you could have a prosperous space in this business, because Mr. Dublin, I'm just telling you, he's doing a phenomenal job in his company. He's helping us lead the expansion internationally as well. I don't know how well you know him, but I just want to let you know that you should feel comfortable and excited to be working with Mr. Dublin, because he's one of our top associates. But here's what we're going to be doing. Since you have questions, man, I got a couple calls that I need to get to before the end of the hour. And what I do want to do is invite you and personally invite you out to a webinar that I will be conducting myself this Tuesday at 7:30. Does that fit into your schedule?
Oh yeah. Yes, sir. Great. Sir. I can make it.
Outstanding. Well, listen, if you go ahead and put that in your schedule, I will be there. I will be there early. What I'd like for you to do is log in at maybe about 7:25. And this is what I promise you. If you put that on your schedule, I promise you this, that at the conclusion of that video, that presentation that I'll be doing this Tuesday at 7:30, I can guarantee you'll have all the information to make an informed decision as to whether this business will be as successful for you as it has been for Mr. Dublin and myself. Does that sound fair?
Sounds fair. I got one more question, though. I need to see if you can answer for me.
Real quick, one question. What can I do for you?
Mr. Murray, about it being real gold, do they deliver it to my house, or how do I get access to that gold?
Listen, it's three things that can happen with your gold. You can have it delivered to your house. You can save it in your back office for free and use it to purchase things and items, or you can take it to invest in our cryptocurrency. But I'll tell you this, man, I'm going to go through all of that specifically this Tuesday at 7:30. You've already committed to being and accepted my personal invitation to that webinar at 7:30. So listen, I look forward to going through all of the facts for you then. All right?
Okay. All right. Now, I have a list of questions, and I'll wait until I got that webinar. Thank you, Mr. Murray.
You're welcome, sir. You have a good day. Mr. Dublin, if you would, I'd appreciate it if you could go ahead and shoot Earl the link to our webinar, and I look forward to conversing with you both Tuesday at 7:30.
Will do, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome. Boom. That's how we do a three-way phone call. That's how we move through the whole process. Okay. And if you notice, the prospect didn't say a whole lot about the business. It was just inviting, it was sharing a video, sharing an expert, and sharing a link, making a few phone calls and connecting. That's it. The prospect doesn't have to know, the affiliate does not have to know all of the facts about the business when you utilize the expert and you utilize third-party tools, okay? So what I want to do at this point in time is let's shift gears. Let's shift gears this time. And Mr. Dublin, since you are my upline, I want to give you the choice. Would you rather be the prospect or the affiliate?
Let me be the affiliate.
Okay, you're going to be the affiliate. Good stuff. Okay, so Mr. Dixon, you are going to be the prospect. So, Mr. Dublin, what you're going to be doing is calling up Earl to introduce him to the video. And you can start that with ring, ring.
Ring, ring, ring.
Hello, this is Earl Dixon.
Earl, how you doing, sir? This is Tony Dublin.
Hey, Mr. Dublin, how you doing?
Fantastic, sir. Fantastic. Hey, just wanted to know, did you have a quick second of your time? I know you're a busy man, but I wanted to shoot you a quick video, man, of something outstanding, and I think you might want to take a look at. Do you think you could take a look at this video and get back to me by 12:30 this evening?
No, actually, I can't do it at 12:30, but I can do it around 3:30.
Okay, sounds even better. 3:30 would be great. I want to send you this quick link. And just want to see, you know, I respect your thoughts, and I just want to get your thoughts on this quick video that I want to send you.
Okay, you send it over at 3:30. I'll take a look at it. I'm going to go on break.
Will do, sir. Thank you for your time.
All right, all right.
Okay, great, great, great. All right, sounds good. Okay, so now you're going to call your expert, and I'll be your expert. You can
ring.
Hello, this is Al.
Al, how you doing, man? This is Tony Dublin.
Hey, what's going on, sir?
Doing fantastic, man. Hey, I got a person on the line that's willing to look at my video after 3 o'clock today. So between 3 and probably 4-ish, would you be available to kind of answer some questions if he had for a 3-way call?
Absolutely, I certainly will.
Man, I appreciate it. I know you're extremely busy, man. Just want to give you a heads up, make sure that you know what I got going on. Seems like he's more of a factual type of person. He likes to ask a lot of questions. He wants to know a lot of details. So just want to give you kind of heads up of the type of person I'm dealing with.
Sounds good. Sounds good. That's cool. Listen, you can tell me a little bit more about him once you got him ready for the 3-way phone call. But before I let you go, I am available. But let me ask you this real quick, Mr. Dublin. What is it? What's your objective? What is it that you want me to close him to?
Basically, I want to see if what's his actual benefits from looking at this, because I really think he's looking at to save some 401k. But I also want him to direct us to that Monday meeting in Waldorf. Since he's in the local area, I really want him to see this information in person.
Sounds good, man. Listen, I'm available for a 3-way phone call. Just hit me back when you get him.
Thank you, Mr. Murray. Appreciate you, man.
Okay, got you. Now, what I'm gonna say about that is we kind of got a little conscrewed in there, but it's cool. That's the way an actual 3-way phone call and the connections between the affiliate and the expert can go sometimes, okay? Because, you know, you're vibing off each other, and between the both of you, you'll get straight what needs to be done, okay? Because actually, as the expert, I really don't even want to know anything about Earl Dixon until Earl Dixon is actually on the other line, and I know that he's there and I'm about to talk to him. Because for me, as the expert, honestly, I'm there to help Mr. Dublin. I'm there to help him move whoever is on the other line to the next exposure. And right now, when he's calling me to see if I'm available for 3-way phone calls, I don't need to know all of the details, because you may or may not even be able to get them. Okay, so that's cool, and it's been done, and we worked all through it. I'm available for the 3-way phone call when Mr. Dublin is able to get Earl to watch it. And he's confirmed that he's watched it and he's ready to do the 3-way phone call. So at this point, you can start with the ring back to Earl, and what you're asking him now is what he liked best about the video, and you're queuing him up to come over to the 3-way phone call.
Ring.
Hey, this is Mr. Dixon. How you doing?
Mr. Dixon, how you doing, man? Tony Dublin again.
Hey, Tony.
Hey, man, just wanted to follow back up with you to see if you had a chance to look at that video I sent you.
No, you know what? I was trying my best to look at that video. Look, I know you said I told you 3 o'clock, but 3:30. I had to push it up to 3:30. So I'm gonna take a look at it at 3:30. You can call me back in a few minutes. Give me at least 30 more minutes. I'm gonna take a look at it. Can you do that?
I can do that, sir. Thank you for your time. I'll call you back at 3:30.
Okay.
Okay. Now that's good stuff. That's good stuff. I appreciate that, Mr. Dixon. Now, one thing I thought Mr. Dixon was going to say is no, I just didn't get the time to look at it, and that was it. Okay, but he said he came back and said, hey, I'll take a look at it by this particular point in time. Now, for those folks, when you call that person back sometime and they say, no, you know what, I didn't even get a chance to take a look at it, I would say, look, were you serious or were you joking when you said that you would take a look at that video for me? And the response would be something like, yeah, I was serious. I don't know how many people would say, no, I wasn't serious. So I just asked, look, man, were you serious or were you joking when you said you'd take a look at that video? Yeah, I was serious, man. I'll take a look at it. Listen, it's only 10 minutes, okay? When do you think you will have 10 minutes to watch that to take a serious hard look at that video? Because I'm telling you, the information on that video could literally change your life. When do you think you'll have 10 minutes to watch that video? And they'll give you a time. And that's when you follow back up with them again. Were you serious or were you joking? Okay. And sometimes, depending upon things, I might even say, you know what, Earl, listen, were you serious? If I told them that it was about a business opportunity in the beginning, but didn't tell them about it, I might say, man, were you serious or were you joking about watching that video? Because, you know, I told you it was a serious business behind here and that I'm really excited about, and I think it could change your life. Were you serious or were you joking? Oh, man, I was serious. I watched your video. Well, listen, Earl, I know you haven't had a chance to watch that video, but guess what? We got a webinar that takes place at 7 o'clock, 7:30 today. Does that fit into your schedule? That might fit into a schedule. You just invite them out to the webinar to take a look at the full-fledged information. Okay. Sometimes I'll do that like that, but understand. And so I move into that by saying, were you serious or were you joking? Hardly anybody says, oh yeah, I was joking. You know, they always say I was serious. So if you're serious, well, guess what? Let's move to the next phase of this thing. Okay. Or I might even move into a three-way phone call to let my expert invite them out to the webinar. Okay. So I might say something like, man, I hope I'm not getting y'all confused, because I'm just using the opportunity to share a little bit more about how sometimes these three-way phone calls go and how it works when you call people up. Okay.
No, good stuff. Good stuff.
Okay.
That's good stuff.
Okay, great. So sometimes, let's say he said, no, I didn't get a chance to watch that video. Okay. So now I'm gonna say, well, look, man, you know, I shared with you that this is something that could literally change your life. Listen, were you serious or were you joking when you said you would take a look at that video? Mr. Dixon, were you serious or were you joking?
Yeah, I was real serious about looking at that video, but my schedule was off. My schedule was really off. So I'm excited about looking, because I respect your opinion. You've never led me wrong, and I believe it's something that's really.
Look, Earl, I don't mean to cut you off, man, but listen, because I was anticipating that you had looked at that video, I already have a gentleman lined up to talk to you and answer any questions about this particular opportunity. So he's already waiting on me to call him back. This gentleman knows all of the facts. He loves to help people. He's very, very down to earth. He's extremely busy. So, and I've already commandeered about 1 minute of his time. Listen, I need to introduce you to this gentleman real quick. Hold on for a second while I get him on the line. Click, click, boom. He's on hold, and now I'm calling up the expert. Hey, Mr. Murray, this is, hey, Mr. Murray, I got a gentleman on the line today. I had asked him to take a look at the video. He wasn't able to do so, but he said he was serious about taking a look at it. Okay, now, since we got this webinar going on tonight, what I'd like for you to do is maybe just share your quick story with them and then invite them out to the webinar tonight at 7:30. Could you do that for me, sir? Yeah, I got time to do that. Go ahead and connect us. Bam. Okay, so now, again, your expert was already waiting for you to call him back with the three-way. Okay, so I'm already ready for the three-way. You're not springing it up on me at like a moment's notice with just calling me up to see if I'm available with your guy already on hold. Okay, so you're not doing that. You've been respectful to my time. I was already waiting for you to call me back with a three-way phone call, but now it's just shifted. He hasn't watched the video, but you wanted me to now invite him out to the webinar this evening. So now, I'm sorry, Mr. Dublin, but I'm taking over your three-way real quick. So now the way as I am Mr. Dublin, I got Earl on a three-way phone call right now. He's waiting to talk to the expert. So now I'm gonna click back in. Hey, Earl, are you there?
Yes, sir. I'm here. Yes, sir. I'm excited.
Great. Well, listen, we were in luck. I was able to get my expert, Mr. Murray, on the line. Mr. Murray, are you there, sir? Yes, I'm here. Okay, great. Earl, Mr. Murray, Earl. Hey, how you doing today, Earl?
I'm doing fine, Mr. Murray. How you doing?
Great. So I understand you had a chance to take a look at some information.
Well, actually, I was supposed to look at this video, but I didn't get a chance to look at the video. But Mr. Dublin said it's something I really need to take a look at for me and my family.
Well, listen, man, that's unfortunate you didn't get a chance to take a look at that video, because I'm telling you, man, that information on that video is life-changing. But more important for you, you're in luck, because I will be doing a personal presentation that'll be going through the content of that video and all the rest of the information that you will need in order to make an informed decision as to whether the information on that video will be as useful to you as it has been to Mr. Dublin and myself. So what I like to do is give you a personal invite to our webinar this evening at 7:30. You think you'll be able to jump on that webinar if Mr. Dublin provides you with the link by 7:25 today?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I make sure I'm there, because I got a lot of respect for Mr. Dublin, and I believe that it's going to be important to me. So yeah, I'll make sure I'm there.
Great. Well, I certainly look forward to conversing with you, sharing the information. And one thing I can promise you is that once you jump on that webinar, at the conclusion, you'll have all the information. You'll be able to make an informed decision as to whether this is something that'll benefit you, like it's benefiting Mr. Dublin and myself. And I can tell that you're a sharp individual. You are not unlike any of the other sharp individuals that Mr. Dublin is bringing to the table. So I personally look forward to sharing this information with you, and I look forward to talking to you at 7:30. I'll talk to you then. Mr. Dublin, you think you could go ahead and shoot Earl over the link to the webinar?
Sure will.
Okay, great. Boom. And there you have it, folks. So that's another form and a way, man, we can use three-way phone calls to do so many things. Invite people to webinars, invite them to watch the video. So now, if he wasn't able to make the webinar, hey, listen, I might have invited, I wasn't going to give him a choice between Tuesday and Thursday, because I want him to get on the one on Tuesday today. Okay, but now if he's not available today, guess what? I can drive him back to the video that Tony Dublin wanted him to watch in the beginning, okay, or I can drive him to the Thursday night webinar, or I can drive him back to the Monday live briefing. Okay, so it's options. Okay, because I understand as the expert that what my affiliate was looking for was to move his prospect to the next exposure. And me as the expert, I can make that happen as long as the other things take place, the edification, and that we've attempted to give this gentleman some information. And now we're doing a three-way phone call, and you're being totally respectful to the expert's time. Okay, that's what we have to do, folks. And then the next thing is it's always good to make sure that you may have a backup expert as well, because I'm telling you, my calendar is getting extremely full from doing, simply because I do these trainings. Everybody wants me to do their three-way phone calls. Listen, you can do a three-way phone call with anybody. The great thing is the synergy that happens. And the synergy is what the expert is always usually able to invoke. But when you're working with somebody, it could be another new affiliate. Okay, listen, Mr. Dublin is one of the top affiliates in this company. He works a job, but he's doing a phenomenal job working this business on a part-time basis. He's extremely busy. Hold on for a second while I see if I can get 1 minute of his time. Boom. So now that's why it's so important to have a workout partner. Because when you got that workout partner, you guys can bounce off each other. You can work them three ways, and it's the synergy that builds it, that makes it work for you. It doesn't. You don't have to have you don't have to have Al Murray. You don't have to have Dr. Rozzelle all the time for a three-way phone call. Not at all. Okay. Listen, Tony Dublin, being your expert, he can offer a personal invite to the. Listen, he's not conducting a webinar, but he can offer. I would like to extend you a personal webinar. A personal invite to our webinar this evening on behalf of his affiliate. You see what I'm saying? So just you understand, folks, the prospect, they don't understand how this process is working. They don't even know the difference between Al Murray being in the business and being good at this, or a new affiliate being in the business and being good at doing this. They don't know the difference. So you can use who you want. The thing is is you need to use third party, and you need to have somebody else doing that for you. So I got 10:30 right now. What I want to do before I turn this thing back over to Dr. Rozzelle, if he has a moment to close us out, because I know he was doing something. But so I'll attempt to give it back to him at the close. But I want to take maybe 5 minutes worth of questions before we get ready to get off of this line. All right, so I'll open it up. If any of you guys have questions, or ladies have questions about anything that we've talked about today, I'd like to go ahead and answer that for you right now. You guys will have to unmute if there are any questions or comments.
Hey, Al.
Yes, sir.
Tony.
Hey, what's going on, sir?
Again, you're hitting some great nuggets, sir, on some things that we definitely go through in the business. I just want to definitely thank you for hitting on that part, on two parts mainly. You know, getting the actual prospect to commit within a certain time, I thought was very important, because sometimes we give them a little leeway and say, hey, you know, I want you to watch this video, and we kind of like let them go on their own time and not trying to disrespect them and be forceful telling them to watch the video. And I will admit that's one of my things that I need to work on. You know, trying to get them to commit to a time frame, so that not only will I know that they're going to watch it within that time frame, know that it is important to watch it, and, you know, get my expert on the line to make sure that they're aware and can be available during that time after they watch the actual video. So that's definitely one I think is very important. And just two, just the fact that, you know, when they have the information, you know, how long does it take for them to get back with you or say, yeah, we're going to watch it, or, yeah, no, I haven't got a chance to watch it. Some of us sometimes give up. We'll kind of say, hey, you know, well, he didn't watch it yesterday. He said he was going to watch it. He didn't have time, you know, all this week. You know, I'm just going to move on. And it's kind of like you get kind of frustrated and you're like, you know what, I'm just forget about him. I'm just going on to the next, which is, you know, a good idea. But at the same token, we don't, because we call it dripping. We still keep coming back to that person and we drip on them a little bit. So just those two things right there, sir. If you can just touch on that dripping part and not giving up because they didn't watch the video at that particular time, you know, a little pointer that you can give us to go forward with, if you will.
Listen, what you just shared is pivotal, because, you know, for a seasoned associate like you to admit that, just is telling us that people or affiliates are making those same are running into those same situations outside of in the marketplace. They're having the same situation. So the way I will respond is I'll say this. One, it's so important to learn the language of this business. Okay. And when you learn the language of the business, then you start learning the philosophies of the business. And the one thing that we don't want to do is chase. We don't want to chase nobody. Okay. So when you are focusing on, when you're contacting and learning how to talk to a red, okay, understand this. I know how this business is supposed to work. And Mr. Dublin wouldn't have never been able to recruit me into this business if he didn't follow systems that I knew he should be following, because that tells me what type of team he's a part of. If he sits back and tries to answer all these questions, or is he willing to say, man, I don't know, but I got the person to answer those questions for you, you know, and put me in contact with somebody else that can answer those questions. Look, that means more to me because I know the industry. I know how it's supposed to work. So now I see he's being trained right. Somebody, he's listening, and somebody is teaching him right. So I'm like, okay, good. Yeah, let's move forward. But if he goes on, he starts, oh, well, you know, he starts chasing me. And then here's the thing. What you said about locking down the time, listen, I don't want to chase you. If you're serious, you're going to give me a time and a date. Okay, and I'm going to hold you to that date, and I'm going to be on time to call you. That's business. Okay, so I don't want to be chasing you around. If I say, yeah, okay, great, well, go ahead and look at it. Well, when are you supposed to look at it? You don't tell your kids clean your room up when you want to, or go cut the grass whenever you feel like it. You tell them when it needs to be done. You set a time. Well, when can you do it? Okay, nah, Dad, I was planning on doing blah, 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 blah. Okay, well, when can you do it? Okay, great. That's the time. That's set. And then you looking for the grass to be cut at that time and that date. Same thing in the business. If you don't set the time, you're chasing. And now when you chasing, guess what? You seem desperate. And now if you're desperate, I don't need to be doing business with nobody that needs me in order for their business to be successful. That's not who I want to partner up with. Okay, so all of this is part of you learning the language, learning the philosophies of the business, and you learn those philosophies by following the system. Because once you follow the system, I'm just trying to tell you, you just got to start doing it, and it's called repetitive learning. Okay, and as you go through that repetitive learning, folks, I'm just trying to tell you, you get better and you get better. There was one of the training calls this week. I think it was a power call, and it was a follow-up on that on another call I was on or something. You know, they were talking about teaching knowledge, okay? Learning the information in a manner in which you can teach it. You had to teach it. So if somebody told you, look, man, I need you to get onto this. If your sponsor told you, I need you to jump on this webinar, and learn this information on this webinar because you're gonna have to do the one next week. How would you come on this webinar? You would certainly be taking notes because you got to teach the information. That's how you want to have teaching knowledge with respect to this business, but you get that teaching knowledge through repetition. So I could go on and on and on, but that's a whole nother training. I got 10:36 right now. So what I'm gonna do right now? Yes, sir.
This is Benjamin. I see you recording. How do I get to your recording?
You can find me on YouTube. Al Murray, Murray. Subscribe to the page. Just put that in there, Karat Bars, KBC, KCB, and you'll get one of the videos, something else that's up there, and just subscribe to the page.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome, sir. Okay, well, listen, folks, what I'm going to do at this point in time is turn this back over to Dr. Sergio Rozzelle. Dr. Rozzelle, I appreciate you, sir, and I know you were engaged in some other activities, but if you're available, you can go ahead and I want to turn this over so you can close us out.
I'm here, Mr. Murray. Can you hear me, sir?
Loud and clear.
I want to extend my extreme thanks again for being here for us today, and as always, every week in conducting this world-class training. Folks, what we've learned here today is you've learned the learned knowledge. Mr. Murray has absolutely learned this material over the years and has trained over the years in so many corporations that he is absolutely someone that has learned it. So now we have to go out here and we have to do the applied knowledge. The applied knowledge is so important because when you do the activities, you get the power. And what happens is folks so often make the simple error in judgment where they'll learn this information, they'll get on it, they'll hear it over and over again, and they think, oh man, I'm doing the business. But you're not doing the business because you're not doing the activity, you're not getting the money-making activity, the income-generating activity. So I want to salute those that participated, and Mr. Dublin for your transparency about that simple error in judgment that so many of us do. Remember, folks, it's just the simple disciplines that you do on a continuous basis that is going to allow you to have success. So just a few announcements real quick. Of course, we have the power call coming up, the Super Saturday power call today at 10:45. Get on there with your total team. Of course, a live meeting sponsored by Mr. Lewis Young. Minister Lewis Young is on Monday in the Waldorf area. Then we have, of course, Tuesday, the great webinar by none other than Mr. Al Bustin' Murray. Wednesday night, we have the team call with super leader, Mr. Rodney Amazing Roach. Mr. Amazing Roach. Of course, Thursday, we have the VGR again on Thursday at 7:30 p.m. And of course, Saturday, 9 p.m., new affiliate training. And then today on Saturdays, of course, we have the power call. And today at 5 o'clock p.m., the Gold Bricks show on Facebook with myself and gentleman, Mr. Yassine Ahmed. So I want to thank everyone for tuning in. I'm glad you guys were able to get this training. And Mr. Murray, thank you again, sir. Folks, we do this business no matter where we are. I was at a funeral today, as well as at a taking my car to the shop. So we still do this business. So if that's all that I have to say, have to share, see everybody next week and tomorrow night, hopefully on GoRocks.info, you can get Fast Start training.
Okay, good stuff. Good stuff. Sounds like
Thank you so much, and bless, guys. Bye now.
All right. Good night. Good night. Good day. Good day. Appreciate you all chiming in.